Wow. You know, this is one of the rare times that I am kind of speechless in terms of what I need to say when I look at what just happened in this game. And, we always said that El Trafico will always deliver. And not only the fact that it delivered in this game, it was then some. And that I would even say that this is probably right up there, at least in the top three of the best El Trafico we have seen in MLS history. Maybe even the best two. And that's saying something because we have seen some great El Trafico before, but if I would have said that, compared to the one that we saw a couple of years ago where LAFC were able to win 5-3 against the Galaxy, I would say this one is at least 2 or 3 times better because, while that game where we saw the 8-goal thriller in the playoffs in 2019, this one, though, there was drama until the very end. And it just looked like we thought that maybe we're going to have some extra time in this game. And I'm pretty sure Don Gabbard in the neutral was hoping that there was extra 30 minutes in this. But then LAFC decided that, yeah, we're going to throw one last twist and we're just going to end this once and for all. But anyway, let us actually begin by talking about what happened in the beginning because I know it's easy for me to talk about the madness that we had in the end of this El Trafico. But we start off in the first minute when Vela pulls it wide on the free kick. And I thought there was a lot of possession early for the Galaxy. I mean, I thought LAFC was elected to sit back and play on the counter, which there's been times that they've been pretty successful in terms of doing it, especially on the road. But then there was an interesting moment where Safuntes actually had some choice words after Puig trying to dive in the box to draw a penalty. Now, Puig, he looked like he headbutted Cifuentes there and only got a yellow card because of it. And I'll tell you what, if this was just a regular season game, or if this is not like an El Trafico in the playoffs, that's a red card. I think that is a red card with the way that Puig, you can clearly see he headbutted Cifuentes there. Sure, Cifuentes kind of overreact a little bit in terms of that, but when you basically headbutt someone, or if you put your head in the opponent's head like that, that is of course is a red card. But I do agree why they decided to give a yellow card, and I think in the end it's the right call with the way that you just simply don't want to ruin an El Trafico by giving out a red card this early. Like with the circumstances that this game is, not only being a playoff game but being El Trafico, hitting a red card will definitely ruin this. And again, I think the referee got it right, even though I know, as I said, in any other games in the regular season, that is definitely worthy of a straight red, and VAR would definitely overturn it. But in this case, I have a feeling probably Don Gabbard must have told the referee, and even probably was in the VAR room and holding a gun behind the VAR official, that don't you dare overturn this one to be a red card. So yeah, Puig very lucky he got away with a yellow card, and he knows it too. Like as soon as the referee hands out the yellow card, he even had a little smile in his face, knowing the fact that he definitely got away with that one. But then in the 16th minute, Grandsir would launch one into the stands before he actually came close just 2 minutes later as he struck the post on the curler. I thought the Galaxy were the better team early in this one. Like they were controlling the midfield and they were creating chances and they were knocking on the door to get the opening goal. Well, LAFC, not only the fact that they were getting dominated in the midfield, but that backline looked very vulnerable. So it basically goes completely against convention, and also just very El Trafico, that the fact that the better team doesn't mean that they're going to score the goal, and that we would see a team score against the run of play, which is exactly what happened in this one. As in the 23rd minute, Bawanga would score from Vela and Segura to make it 1-0 in favor of LAFC, completely against the run of play, as the Galaxy up to that point was the better team. But yeah, it only takes one chance, and this is kind of the thing that has to be great news for LAFC fans to see, because they have sit through some very frustrating game this season where no matter how many chances that they were able to create, they aren't able to put into back net. And the same goes with Dennis Bawanga. He really hasn't live up to the DP tag that LAFC of course paid him. Yes, he did finally score his first goal in that supporter shield clinching win against the Portland Timbers, but again, this is a guy that they were hoping that could be a lot more. And for for a while, I talked about how he's been kind of started to maybe becoming that guy that maybe is a little bit snake bin, no matter how he's trying, and that he's trying really hard to score a goal. He's unable to do that, but it feels like maybe this is also another example of maybe the tide being turned, where Bawanga finally got that monkey off the back, and you can see he has definitely had more confidence here, and yeah, that gives LAFC the 1-0 lead heading into the last half of the first half. But Puig then had a chance in the 30th minute, but he hits one straight to Crepeau before Chicharito puts it over the bar from close range. I thought Chicharito didn't really have the best of the game. I mean, for the most part, actually I didn't even put him on the board a lot. I mean, that just kind of tells you that he definitely didn't had the best of the game. But one thing that we did see in this one is the track meet. So we always see this happen in El Trafico, where it's back and forth, and especially in the second half, we saw a lot of that in the second half, and it looks like it's starting again, where both of these teams was trying to get the next goal. The game become a bit end-to-end, and eventually we would see the next goal in the 43rd minute as Samuel Grandsir would ties the game up at 1 apiece. But yeah, for Chicho Arango, yeah, this was not a great moment for him, and I'll talk about how he was the difference maker in this one. But this is one that he definitely don't want to think about, because he basically hits it right to Grandsir as he was trying to clear that one in, and Grandsir said, "Thank you very much, I'm just gonna put this one in." And yeah, the game was all tied up at 1 apiece. But then in the 3rd minute stoppage time, we thought LAFC was going to get a penalty, and the referee originally did point to the spot after Vela was brought down by Edwards. But then after, it seems like he might have talked to the VAR referee, he changed his original decision, and in the end, I think it was the right call, but it was damn close. Like, I think there's also a question whether maybe this shouldn't have been a foul in the first place, because, Vela, we know he is a guy that has a history of trying to draw a penalty, maybe go down the ground a little bit too easily, or in this case, trying to basically dive into the box so that he can draw a penalty. And, sometimes we talk about the dark arts, and it's part of the game nowadays, but sometimes the dark arts can come back to bite you. And in some way, it kind of did for Vela, because, when he tried to leap into the box, he didn't realize that his feet was still kind of outside the box there. And therefore, that's why it's not a penalty. And also, in the ensuing free kick, I didn't write it on the board here, but he basically hit a terrible free kick that bounced off the wall and didn't even go out for a corner. So, again, that's another example of the dark arts sometimes can be come back to bite you. But nevertheless, we do head to halftime with the score tied up at 1 apiece, just as the neutral and Don Gabbert were hoping that is the case, and also the MLS media are hoping that we would head to the last 45 minutes of El Trafico in the playoffs with all to play for. And in the second half, this is when the madness began. I mean, the madness was already kind of building up, but this is really truly where the madness began. Bergman would then fires it just over the bar in the 47th minute before Cifuentes puts it wide on the header. And again, with how open and both team getting chances, it's kind of hard to predict who will get the next goal here, even though technically I probably shouldn't have wrote that, because I knew it was going to be the case throughout this entire second half, with both teams chasing for that next crucial goal. Bond would then deny Vela as foul was whistled, so even if Vela puts that one in, it wouldn't have counted. And then Puig would fire a long-range shot right to Crepeau. Before Crepeau actually had to come off his lines in the 67th minute, and he actually just got this one, or just came off his lines in time to basically knock this one away, because this free kick shot by Bergman, it actually hits the wall there, and it fell almost kindly to Koulibaly, but Crepeau with just a heroic play that came off his lines and punched that one away before Koulibaly had a chance to tap it in. Then on the other end, Acosta would blast one into the stand after Bond himself also came off his lines and just got in time in terms of punching this one away. And again, it feels like this game is on the fitness of knife edge, because there has been some close call. There's been times where there's been last-ditch defending, goalkeeper come off their line at the last second and just punch that one away, and you just kind of had a sense a goal is potentially going to come, because after all, this is El Trafico. It is known for craziness that happened at the end of the game, but obviously there are maybe some neutrals might thinking that hey, give us another 30 minutes of this madness and chaos that is going to happen. Though in the 76th minute, we thought we might have a game-changing moment when Vela was subbed off of what looked like to be a knee injury. Now, originally, I think John Strong mentioned the fact that Vela, of course, made a universal sign to get subbed off, but I'm not sure if he is actually surely telling the truth, because when Vela, of course, was subbed off, he was not happy at all. And I get it, Carlos Vela being the captain of this team and being the most important piece to this LAFC team, you definitely don't want to have your leader to be subbed off in this one, even though if he's dealing with a knee injury. And again, going back to what John Strong said, the fact that he made a universal sign, and the reason why I said that maybe he lied about that is because, when he mentioned it, they didn't actually show anything that resembling Vela making a universal sign to be subbed off. So again, I feel like in that case, probably that of course is not true, and that again, it probably was evidence, because with the way that Vela, when he came off, he was not happy whatsoever. But the good news for LAFC is that his replacement was Mahala Opoku, and we know Mahala Opoku can score some big goals for this LAFC team. Though one interesting fact that they also mentioned is that LAFC have not had a substitute have scored a goal for them in the past 9 games, and this is, keep in mind that this is a team that at one point was leading the league in terms of a player coming off the bench and scoring goals, and I think at the end they still said that they lead the league in terms of that category. But yeah, it was a bit surprising to see that it is the stats where the goals have kind of dried up for LAFC in terms of player coming off the bench and make an impact. But one thing we know in this game is that the goal definitely didn't dry up, because in the 80th minute, that goal that we thought that might have come in the latter part of this game did, as Bawanga would score here from Opoku and Holland's head to give LAFC a 2-1 lead. What a build-up this was from LAFC. Like, this is classic LAFC build-up, working that Galaxy defense and completely ripping that to shred. And yeah, that gave LAFC a 2-1 lead, but that lead wouldn't last long, because 5 minutes later, Dejan Joveljic, who just came in off the bench, and that I believe John Strong mentioned exactly 1 minute and 26 seconds since he came off his bench to score this goal, as he scored here from Vasquez and Bergman to tie the game up at 2 apiece. What a banger of a goal that was from Joveljic, a guy that, again, I still simply don't understand why in the world he always either come in a little bit too late to off the bench, when he's a guy that, coming off the bench, he can make an instant impact for this Galaxy team. And this is also another example where, at the end tonight, as I'll kind of maybe spoil a little bit of what happened later in this game, that Galaxy fans will be absolutely fuming at Greg Vanney for not bringing Joveljic soon, because this is the impact that Joveljic can make. He's a difference maker that, again, I just never understand why in the world does he not come off the bench, or even maybe starting in games, because he is such a game changer for this Galaxy team. Though that being said, I also wrote MLS After Dark and Chaos of El Trafico deliver again, because again, you thought that LAFC was going to get the 2-1 win, but this is El Trafico. You know that there's going to be some late drama. And also, as I mentioned before, somewhere in New York, Don Gabber and the neutral, they were praying that there's going to be another 30 minutes of this. And I think at that point, everybody was praying that there's another 30 minutes of this, because you know this is going to be a wild game, and that there's going to be some more drama that we can even go later into the evening. But unfortunately, that did not happen, because as it is the case with El Trafico, and I can't believe I'm saying this for maybe the 5th time, there's always going to be a late twist when you are not expected. Because in the 88th minute, after Cifuentes heads it wide from the corner, in the 3rd minute of stoppage time, Chicho Arango scored to give LAFC the 3-2 lead, and the entire team, and even some of the LAFC fans, joined in the celebration. Like, some of the fans that was sitting in the director box, they even joined in the celebration. And I'm actually happy the fact that the security decided not to basically pull back fans of doing that, because I think they deserve to celebrate in front of the team, and I'm talking about the fans itself, because it was just such a big moment for this team, and really for a team that, we always talk about the narrative. They can't deliver in these big games, and they did exactly that. So yeah, what a big moment that is, and it turns out to be the winning goal of this one. Although you can definitely see that the referee, he was trying his best to try to hope that the Galaxy would score another late goal and maybe produce more late drama, because even though there was like 6 minutes of stoppage, we play all the way up to like 8.5 minutes, and I get, yes, there will, maybe some of that is made up for the time that was lost during the goal celebration. But my God, I can clearly tell that the referee, or he is trying his best to get this one as late as possible, and hope that the Galaxy can score another late goals to make this 3-3 and really set up another chaotic El Trafico heading into extra time. But it wasn't meant to be, as in the end, LAFC hold on to win 3-2 in this one. And the shots in this one, 14 shots per the 11 that the Galaxy had, 4 shots on goal per the 5 that LAFC had, 7 shots off target per the 4 that the Galaxy had, 3 shots that was blocked per the 2 that LAFC had, and possession-wise, 60% possession compared to 40% possession that LAFC has in this game. So yeah, LAFC is moving on into the conference final, and as I said earlier about how the Philadelphia Union has to conquer one of the daunting tasks of playing against a team that know them very well, and they were able to conquer the task. LAFC does the same thing, because coming into this game, again, the narrative is they can't perform in big games, and the fact that they haven't been in good form while the Galaxy has been, it seems like this was going to be a game that the Galaxy can pull it off. But in the end, LAFC kind of took those narrative in the back seat, and now they're moving on into the Western Conference Final, where they get to play at home again, facing against one of those Texas team. And by the way, if you keep track of prediction that maybe you made, or at least I'm keeping track of some of the prediction that I made, yes, I did get a lot wrong in the first round of the playoff game, but at least in the second round, I think I'm kind of 2 for 2 in terms of that. I mean, I didn't predict that El Trafico was going to happen, but I did say LAFC was going to make it to the Western Conference Final, which they did. Same goes with the Philadelphia Union, which, I think I predicted that. Yeah, I think if I look back at the bracket, I think I predicted that the Union was going to move on against FC Cincinnati, and I think that was one of the only conference semifinal matches that I actually predicted right. And I said the Union moving on to the Eastern Conference Final, and they did exactly that. So now all I need is hope that Dallas don't screw it up against Austin, because Dallas was that team that I predicted to make it to MLS Cup along with the Philadelphia Union. So yeah, let's just hope that, so far my prediction in the second round has been a little bit better than what I do in the first. But one thing for sure is that we already see some great game in the conference semifinal. I mean, this one easily the best playoff game so far, and it's not a big surprise, because whenever there's an El Trafico, I've said it before in the preview, and I'm going to say it again. If you want entertainment, if you want to see an MLS game where there's just chaos everywhere from the minute one, this is exactly the game to do so. And that there's also a reason why next year this game is going to be at the Rose Bowl. And again, I want to attend that one, though. I don't know if I can get the time off to do so, but certainly that game, there's going to be a lot of hype surrounding this, because after this one, how can you not be hyped up about next year's edition, and potentially the one that this is going to be the one that kick off next season and kick off the first ever game in the new era of TV deal that Apple TV of course has it. But either way, hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this game? I mean, I'm pretty sure, even as a neutral, I was on the edge of my seat in this one, and I was just pretty much glued to the TV, and I'm pretty sure everybody was. So I can't imagine how LAFC fans and LA Galaxy fans feel about this game. They must be suffering a ton of heart attack after what they just saw in this one. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys like, smash the subscribe button, and yeah, I of course will see you guys next time.